Long before she was mentor-in-chief, Karen Wakoli was just a young woman on a university campus, organizing, leading, dreaming. But she had a vision, a dream for a just and dignified society anchored on values-based leadership and active, responsible citizenship.
The cornerstone and the foundation for dignity in society is good leadership. Because when you have good leaders, they get to pass good policies, they listen to people, they ensure there's public participation, they ensure there's equity and equitable representation of all people. And it's inevitable that in such a society, people will live in dignity and pursue purpose, without any inhibition.
From leadership forums to national debates, she stepped into political spaces not for power, but for purpose.
Statistics indicate that for Kenya alone, over 35% of Kenyans live below $1 a day. That is very undignifying. Yet, we have more than enough in Kenya, across Africa, for each and every person and human being to thrive. And so Emerging Leaders Foundation was formed to facilitate every human being to live in dignity. And the cornerstone for that, the cornerstone and the foundation for dignity in society is good leadership.
Kenya needed a new kind of leadership, grounded in dignity, rooted in love.
Through her journey of 12 years prior, or 10 years prior to our meeting, which was approximately 3 years ago since I got in contact with ELF, Karen has been trying to impact young leaders to the beautiful political arena that we have in our country.
I've been privileged to see what we are experiencing today in ELF because I was a pastor to the founder when she was a student. And so I got the front row seat of something beginning to mature in this young lady. She had a legacy. She was the first woman representative in SONU, any university at that high level. There had never been one.
The restlessness grew, and with it, a promise. I will do something. I will start something. That something was Emerging Leaders Foundation Africa, a movement born from pain and built on possibility.
One of the biggest challenges as we looked around our country and even across the continent, we saw that there's a challenge with capacity. That some people in positions of authority are doing the wrong things because they do not know the right thing to do. And so part of our work is to strengthen their capacity, journey with them, accompany them, mentor them, and provide coaching for them to be equipped sufficiently with the right knowledge and skill set for them to be effective and successful in their leadership.
The beginnings were humble. Mentorship sessions beneath the trees of Arboretum, no budgets, just belief. The first fellows came, curious, unsure, but ready. The dream had begun to take shape. ELF Africa had launched, and with it, a legacy. Programs were born, volunteers stepped up, the vision grew into movement, the movement found its team. And with each session, each story, a foundation of impact was being laid.
Ladies of Splendor birthed a totally different Stella. I first had big sisters who held me accountable and kept telling me, Stella, at uni, there are these things you can do and there are things you cannot do. So I feel like it prepared me for the world. All of a sudden, things started to change and I started to see possibilities open up in my own life. But then I also saw how possible it was to link these opportunities that I was seeing in Nairobi to where I was coming from, my village. And one of the things that I learned from this program was I have to go back and give back. I have to think about how I am using all these learnings that I was speaking to cascade that into my own community. And that's how the vision of Dada Power Initiative was born. Dada Power Initiative was born out of the need that I saw in my community. There were teenage pregnancies, starting from my own family, but then there are unique needs that young women have and still had back then. And it just birthed the idea that we needed more young women's spaces where women talk, but also where they share their experiences and dreams as well, but at the local level. Looking back since 2015, we have reached over 500 teenage girls and even more young people.
ELF has changed my mindset on so many things, and one of them is leadership. Before the program, I could not speak in public with a lot of confidence because I doubted myself. But because of the mentorship, because of the trainings that we went through, I don't think there is anywhere else I cannot speak. I also think that in terms of appearance, I have changed a lot. When I joined the fellowship, I could just dress like any other person as long as there is something to put on. But nowadays I'm very cautious on how I dress because I now acknowledge that sometimes how you dress can influence something in a room, and that is something I take very seriously nowadays.
I never found myself worrying that I don't have something to say or I don't have a contribution to make, because we at ELF we have learned that meaningful youth engagement is powerful. It's been amazing to circle back years later and come and join ELF. I think it was just exciting for me to see how far the organization had come, how far I had come, and that there was a place for me to contribute to the work that we are doing, to instill values in young people and prepare them for positions of leadership.
We have seen young people getting elected into office as members of parliament, as members of the county assemblies. We have seen leaders beginning to speak up on matters of values and integrity and standing up for the right things. We have seen leaders mentoring other leaders, young people providing mentorship and coaching to younger people, so that then the coaching and the learning does not just end with the young person that has gone through our program.
I would say the biggest tools that I gained from ELF were the tools of public speaking, and public speaking for a cause, because you can be loud, you can be active, but what exactly are you saying? And so it enabled me to raise my voice where it mattered, because we also had trainers who were actually communication specialists, and they would actually tell us this is how we do our thing and this is the impact that we make. And being a lawyer who also had an interest in communication and advocacy, I think that really equipped me with the ability and the knowledge to know what to say and how to say it and who to say it to.
Cynthia Nyongesa went through the iLead Fellowship many years ago. And right now, she is one of those young people that are influencing education for children and for young people, not just in Kenya, but at the global level. She's a youth champion for global partnership for education. Like within the UN system, she is a voice that has authority, that speaks on issues of education and young people. We have a young man in Migori called Vincent, who just got a head of state commendation the other day. He is working to end FGM, female genital mutilation, in his community. And he's working with so many leaders where he is.
Immediately after the training, our journey took a different dimension based on the skills that we have been given by Emerging Leaders Foundation. Migori County took lead in terms of activities and engagement in adolescent and reproductive health countrywide, and it is on purpose because of the little engagement with the partners that we put in the ministry, in the Department of Health.
In the heart of Kilifi County, a powerful story of transformation is unfolding. Ashraf Ahmed stands out as one of ELF's most inspiring success stories. using the universal language of sport to drive change. Through Kakoneni Football Club, Ashraf has turned the football pitch into a platform for youth empowerment, education, and leadership development. Harnessing his leadership skills, Ashraf is not just building a football team, he's building a movement, one that's reshaping his community, championing girls' rights, and tackling the dangers of early pregnancies, all while inspiring the next generation to dream bigger and reach higher.
Kupitia kwa Coach Ashraf, kuna wanafunzi ambao sahi wanasoma kupitia scholarship, ambayo ni juhudi yake yeye Coach Ashraf amesaidia hao wanafunzi wakaenda hizo shule na wanasoma wakiwa wanakuwa sponsored huku wakicheza mpira.
At the Master Empowerment Center in Nairobi, John Mwenda Mungani is leading change in his community. His journey reflects the powerful ripple effect of ELF's leadership program, which continues to shape lives and spark transformation across the country.
I joined the Emerging Leaders Foundation the year 2018. I was a second year student at Kenyatta University. I was able to understand what is leadership about and what is the leadership that we need in our country. And it was also able to give me a passion to join the political arena and also to join leadership as a student. The skills that I learned, it enabled me to vie for political position at the Kenyatta University as a student congressman, and also through the skills that I learned through Emerging Leaders Foundation, I was able to establish the Master Empowerment Center with a team of my colleagues. I was dreaming to create an impact in our society, to create transformation in the community that I live, which is a crime area, where we have 10 or less % of transition from one level of education to another one. And because I had seen a lot of crime in our area, I had a passion to create transformation and impact in our community, and I was given the key to do that.
Today, ELF Africa is everywhere, in governance and civic life, in livelihoods and economic justice, in leadership development.
Young people have powerful stories and dreams and aspiration, but they feel stuck. The people who have startup ideas, we have seen socio-economic and entrepreneurship programs that we run. It's not that they need money because government, for example, provide youth fund. But this is a space where we jumpstart those engines that are stuck. And so if we can really get to support initiative like what ELF is doing, we kind of open opportunities. So this is a vehicle that is moving, that then keeps jump-starting the other vehicle that are stalled.
From classrooms to county halls, we build voice, agency, vision. We're walking alongside leaders. We're walking with purpose. Now they lead in parliaments and boardrooms, in businesses and grassroots movements. They speak boldly, they serve, they mentor, they rise.
The biggest observation I had is definitely we've had a very big impact. A lot of alumni, I think about 10,000 already, that has been brought to the rest of the world, and they're already creating impact in their own different ways. So we've done a great job. What else is there for us to do? Can we jump even deeper and see that we can get from these Gen Alphas by going through schools and the processes of our public sector schools and private sector schools as well, and seeing what else we can add in that journey?
We look forward to setting up a center of excellence for youth leadership development in Africa, where every young person who has a dream, who desires to grow, who desires to make a change in their community, can go to and access material and have access to mentors, have access to fellow peers, and learn from each other, share their stories, and just grow together.
ELF is at the cusp, at the point of the spear, of the cutting edge of what is to happen, of creating your new future. So if you have a constituency of young people who are public servants and are trained, they can begin to own and know the processes by the time other young people, their peers, start getting into things.
I would say to the young people of Africa that Africa is you and you are Africa. So don't run away to go seek opportunities elsewhere. Africa's challenges will be resolved sustainably by the young Africans, by us. And so my call to young people is, let's stay put in our continent, innovate, think, imagine, and be courageous enough to take risks, to launch whatever it is we're thinking about, and create solutions for Africa, because solutions for Africa will be created by Africans, and especially young people.
Over 5,000 trained, thousands more reached, 40+ counties, cross-border collaborations, countless ripples of change. This is not just our story, it's theirs and yours.
As the people are, so the leaders. And the leadership, in terms of the people who are given and trusted role, is a reflection of the people who are led.
Over the years, ELF has taught me to choose courage, choose boldness, and take action. I choose to boldly take action for my beloved continent.
ELF Africa has allowed me and enabled me to articulate my dream to serve this country. And now I have the great opportunity to do so at ELF Africa.